How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Ray, also known as Meatloaf Man. You might also know me as Moonray on other platforms. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my recent trip to Dallas, Texas for the Death Battle Live premiere event. For those unaware, the event was basically this big premiere screening for the first independent episode of the show, which as we all know ended up being Omni-Man vs Bardock. You would get to see it early before it would hit YouTube a few days later in an actual theater-like fashion, and on top of that you would also have the opportunity to meet some of the folks behind the show who were in attendance. And you were able to get in so long as you were able to purchase a general admission ticket in advance or were one of the super Tangen Top backers on the Safe Death Battle Kickstarter campaign, which meant having an all expenses paid trip to the premiere, hotel and flight included among other things. No, I myself wasn't a super Tangen Top backer, but I was able to have a similar experience as I'm blessed to have a few close friends that are associated with the Death Battle team. For team members that were going to the premiere, they were given the privilege to add a +1 guest to their party. And what that entailed was basically being able to tag along with the Death Battle team and experience events that I wouldn't have been able to otherwise if I was just part of general admission. Now, I wasn't originally planning on going to the premiere event as I live in New York and the event is in Dallas, so it would be a little out of the way to pay for a short notice flight, grab a hotel, and travel for what's essentially a one night only event. However, I was approached back in September by my buddy DJ TQ, who some of you might know as the lead video editor as well as a researcher and writer for Death Battle. He asked if I would be going on the trip, mentioning that he or another participating team member would be able to add me as a +1. This meant that if I did end up going, it would be much more justifiable to fly out for the occasion, as I'd be able to hang around with him and some of our other friends for a few extra days around the premiere, while also getting my money's worth. All I had to do was purchase a general admissions ticket and a round trip flight and I was set.
Death Battle movie!
It's at this point that I need to give a huge shout out to my buddy Lawrence, as he and I were able to sit down and figure out a logistical plan when it comes to finances in preparation for the trip. Without him, I probably wouldn't have been able to figure out how I could have made such a last minute trip work out. I also of course need to shout out DJ for the invite as well as my buddy Jukum, who is also a researcher for the show and another longtime friend of mine, as he was able to make me his +1 after I figured everything out. And it goes without saying that I also need to give a huge thank you to the Death Battle team, as without them, I probably wouldn't have had this whole experience in the first place. Now, I saw a lot of you guys were asking, how's the trip, what'd you guys do, and all that, and I figured it'd probably be a good idea to make a video recounting my experience while also showcasing some pictures and videos I was able to take while over there. I'm gonna break it down day by day and also divide my retrospective up into chapters so you guys can freely skip around to a specific part you're interested in. But if I were you, I would recommend kicking back with a snack and drink because this whole story is gonna be one wild ride and you're gonna want to be here for all of it. So without any further delay, let's dive on in. Things kick off on Wednesday, October 2nd, where I have to catch my flight to Dallas Fort Worth from LaGuardia Airport. I ended up taking an afternoon flight around 1 PM Eastern as it was the only ever decent option available that wasn't too early, too late, or Spirit Airlines. And as we all know, you don't want to fly Spirit Airlines regardless of how cheap those prices look. Same with Frontier Airlines. I can also tell you guys right now, stay the hell away from American Airlines. Those guys have done me wrong for so long that I can't for the life of me stand them. They may have decent prices and allow for carry-on suitcases, but if I can help it, I'm avoiding them at all costs. They might as well be run by scam artists. So this time around, I was sticking to old reliable Delta Airlines, which not only meant onboard refreshments, but also your choice of an in-movie flight, and they usually have a very good selection of films to choose from. They may be a bit more pricey, but trust me, it's worth every penny for decent service. Anyway, I hopped on my flight when it was time, sat in my window seat, and kicked back for the 3 to 4 hour ride. I ended up watching the live-action Scott Pilgrim film, which I was surprised to see available on there, and I gotta say, that movie still holds up very well to this day as an excellent adaptation of the original source material. It's also just a ton of fun in general. If you haven't seen the movie already, you owe it to yourself to check it out, it's always a good time. I gotta also comment, I've been on plenty of flights prior to this, but I always forget how insanely cold it gets when you're high up in the sky. Like, seriously, I was shivering like crazy even with a hoodie on, and because of that, I'm probably not gonna get on a flight without a travel blanket from now on. And I would highly advise that you guys plan ahead and do the same, you'll thank me later. Anyways, I ended up landing in Dallas around 4 PM Central Time, and so with that, I ended up taking a lift over to the hotel that my friends and I were going to be staying at for the weekend, which was only 20 minutes away by car. A few of them were already there and checked in, while others were still on the way, so it was just a matter of heading on over. We ended up staying at the Sheraton Dallas by the Galleria, which was a pretty decent hotel all things considered. I only had a few complaints with the overall experience, but I'll be talking about those later on. Once I got over, I went straight up to our room and was greeted by DJ, Jukum, and our buddy Speedy, who's another researcher on the Death Battle team. DJ had his Switch hooked up to the TV, and we ended up watching him play some of the new Zelda Echoes of Wisdom as we chilled and waited for our other friends to make their way over. The next person in our friend group who did end up pulling up was Luis Cruz, the animation director for Death Battle, and let me tell you guys, Luis is a big sweetheart and a stand-up kind of guy, and I was thankful to not only finally meet the guy after having only chatted for a bit in group chats and voice calls, as well as admiring his work on the show for so many years, but to also have the privilege of just hanging out and chilling with the dude like it's any other Wednesday the whole week through. So shout out to Luis, that dude is my guy and it was great to spend the week with you, man. So Luis comes in and greets all of us, and we end up finding out that around the same time as them getting there, a certain Ben Singer, creator, director, and co-owner of the Death Battle series, had also just arrived on scene as well. I hadn't mentioned this yet, but basically almost all of the Death Battle staff that was coming to the event were all staying at the same hotel we were, alongside the Super Tech and Toppa backers that were being flown in for the experience. So around this time, almost everyone from the team and from the backers were all converging in one place, and we all figured we might as well head downstairs to meet and greet with the team as they were coming in. With that, each of us headed downstairs to the hotel's main lobby area, and we ended up meeting with Ben alongside Sam Mitchell, Austin Harper, and unexpectedly for the moment, Devil Artemis himself. And keep in mind, Devil had not shown his face online anywhere before. In fact, the Death Battle live premiere event was going to be the first time he'd be appearing at any kind of fan event like this. So for pretty much all of us, including the actual Death Battle team themselves, this was the very first time a lot of us had seen what he looked like in real life. And like with Luis, Devil is a very chill guy. I had always heard a lot of good things about him from my friend Duvad, who also previously animated for Death Battle. So much so that Devil ended up tagging along with our friend Goof for the duration of his time in Dallas, so we also ended up getting to spend a lot of time with him as well. As for Ben, Sam, and Austin, I mean, what more can I say other than they're exactly who they are in any official video you might have seen with them. I had actually previously met Ben alongside Chad, Liam, and Billy at RTX back in 2022, and they were all phenomenal people to talk with. Though this time around I would actually get to be in their presence for a lot longer than usual, and let me tell you guys, these are professionals at their craft. All throughout the week they had detailed some of the ideas and plans they have for the show going forward, and it's clear these guys have a vision for what they want to do with Death Battle's new independent future. And honestly, I'm excited to see where they take things. They were great to meet on a more formal level. In addition, we were later joined briefly by the one and only Sean Hines, who actually recognized who I was, which led to a pretty funny moment, as well as head writer Liam Swan and eventually Chad James. There were also a few Super Tech and Toppa backers forming in the lobby meet and greet as well, and I got to meet and chat with some of them, including Omni-Man, who many of you may recognize from the Death Battle Cast live chat. You probably even owe your champion's membership to this guy. And yeah, we ended up having a few good conversations with the backers. There were a few awkward moments that I won't be going into that did occur while interacting with them, but overall I did have a decent time mingling with people in the lobby alongside my friends. Afterward, my friend group and I, which now included Devil, all went back upstairs to our room. We were basically waiting on one more friend to show up, that being one Larry Winwood, who many of you guys may know either for his animation work, him being one of the prominent members of Galaxy Grudge Match, or for his huge Among Us vs Fall Guys campaign going as far back as the Champions Poll. Unfortunately, Larry's flight had been delayed, so we ended up not seeing him until a bit later on in the evening. But to pass the time until dinner, we all decided to gather around the TV and play some good old Smash Ultimate. Remember earlier when I said I'd be addressing some issues I had with the hotel? Yeah, so here comes one of them. You guys know how some hotels like to personalize your experience with them? Particularly when you turn on the TV and you're greeted by this personalized main menu screen that reads, "Good evening, Ray. Hope you're enjoying your stay at the Sheraton." And then it gives you options for either browsing the available TV channels or buying a movie or finding out more information about things you can do at the hotel. Yeah, so our TV had one of those, and it was basically a custom operating system installed onto whatever Roku box or Raspberry Pi they had plugged in on the back of the main HDMI output. And normally this wouldn't be anything to complain about if it wasn't directly interfering with how the TV interacts with other HDMI inputs. In our case, DJ Switch, which was initially plugged into HDMI 2. Dude, we were experiencing some of the worst input delay I had ever seen. There had to have been a 2-second delay between us pressing a button on our controllers and our characters actually responding to the inputs on screen. It was very bad and it made Smash virtually unplayable, so we got to work on figuring out how to remedy the issue. We looked up the TV model, we looked into cases where other people had experienced the same issue at other hotels, and eventually we did end up finding what looked to be a potential solution to the problem. Though we had to wait on actually pulling it off, as before we knew it, it was dinner time, so we all had to go. But I'll be coming back to this later on, although I do want to mention real quick, the other issue we did have with our hotel room was that for whatever reason, the bathroom door was a slide-in door rather than a traditional door that you can actually lock. And funny enough, this isn't the first hotel I've been to that has one of them for some reason. Now, if you were staying alone in a hotel room, this wouldn't really be much of an actual issue. The problem, however, is that we're all sharing the hotel and have other guests visiting the room. So it can definitely become a problem if someone forgets to knock and asks if someone's in the bathroom while the sliding door is closed every single time. So yeah, we weren't really a fan of that, but thankfully it wasn't as much of an issue, just a weird quirk about the room is all. Anyway, it was dinner time, and what that meant was going out to eat with the entire Death Battle team. We converged downstairs to figure out what the plan was for getting over to the restaurant, and my group ended up being driven over to the place by none other than Ben himself. Which was really cool, and I'm still very thankful he did that, and thankfully we were able to fit inside his car too. We ended up eating at the Yard House, which offered a lot of traditional food you would typically see at a restaurant along with a varied selection of alcoholic beverages. I myself settled for this 2 pepper jack burger with roasted jalapenos and poblano peppers, pepper jack cheese, chipotle ranch, and a side of fries and pickle. And I'll tell you guys, that shit was fantastic. I ended up devouring the whole thing, which is rare for me to do with big restaurant burgers. Granted, I didn't have much of a lunch earlier in the day, so I guess my appetite also helped with that. But yeah, that and a Coca-Cola made it all the more dinner worthy. And everyone else got some pretty good stuff as well. In particular, I remember Chad had gotten this giant pretzel for him and his wife, and that thing was ginormous. So much so they actually offered some of it to others at the table, and it was from there that my friends partook in what we essentially called pretzel Jenga. See, the pretzel was hanging off of this metal hook, so the goal was to basically remove small parts of the pretzel without actually letting the whole thing hit the plate beneath it. And miraculously, no one managed to lose at that despite a few close calls. It was pretty fun. I should also mention at this point we were finally joined by Larry himself, who had finally touched down and dropped his stuff off at the hotel, making a beeline for the restaurant immediately after. Also worth noting was that Lisa Foyles had joined up with our party as well. As some of you may know, she portrays Jocelyn the intern on Death Battle and its various spin-offs, and she was also previously on All That for Nickelodeon, so it was pretty cool getting to be in her presence as she was retroactively part of my childhood. But yeah, dinner was great. It was cool getting to eat and talk with everyone. Shout out to Mrs. James, who was a blast to talk to. And here's the kicker. Turns out dinner was on the house, which nobody in my friend group knew. I was seriously getting ready to pay with my credit card, but unexpectedly somebody footed the bill for everyone, which blew my mind. But all the same, I couldn't complain. A free dinner with the Death Battle crew? Dude, that's basically a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So shout out to whoever covered all that was sweet. Afterwards, the team wanted to go bar hopping, so we stuck around for a bit and I chatted it up with those in my friend group. Something I will mention that was pretty funny to see, and I'm only mentioning this because Chad did bring mention to it later on at the actual premiere event, was that Lisa Foyles had boss shots for the whole team, which was both unexpected and also radical. I mean, heck man, it's a big week for the whole team, so honestly, go off, I would celebrate hard too. So like I said, I stuck with my friend group at the bar and we chilled, and Ben also came up to us and spoke to us about what the plans basically were for the premiere event the next day. And it was cool getting to know what was basically going down before anyone else did. A really funny moment also happened during this, but I sadly can't say what it is, but for those of my friends that are in the know, yes, this is where that one specific moment happened, and I gotta comment, that is a moment I will treasure for the rest of time. I wish I could say what it is to you all, but trust me when I say it was legendary, and I'll leave it at that. So eventually the bar closes, and we all decide to head back to the hotel, with Ben giving us a ride back. We go upstairs to our room and we finally managed to troubleshoot the issue we had with the delay inputs on the Switch. So what we ended up doing was that we unplugged the box that was behind the TV altogether and plugged the HDMI for DJ Switch into the main port. And after some testing, this ended up leading to more responsive and on-time inputs, meaning it was now feasible to play games like Smash or the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. However, this did come with a huge drawback. See, turns out the box we unplugged was also the main conduit that controlled the television volume. So if we wanted to raise or lower the volume from our remote control, it was now impossible, and there were no TV settings that could fix any of the issues we were having either. So what we ended up doing was that we went into the volume control settings for every game and ended up turning down everything to a moderate level. This did come with the caveat that anytime we wanted to switch games and open up the Switch menu, that sound effect that would play would end up being very ear-piercingly loud. But at the same time, there was not much else we could have done, so we just kind of cut our losses and dealt with it. But nevertheless, we could now enjoy playing our favorite games together, so we ended up playing some Smash for the rest of the night. But of course, we had big things to do the next day, so eventually we decided to wind down and fall asleep to some old episodes of game shows that were streaming on Pluto TV. Now let me tell you guys, if there's anything that can bridge my friends together more than video games or Death Battle and content similar to it, it's watching shows where grown adults fail spectacularly in a variety of humorous ways like Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader or Deal or No Deal. Extra shout out to Kitchen Nightmares, that show will never not be hilarious. But anyways, that was everything we did on Wednesday. Let's move on to the main event of it all, Thursday. Waking up the next morning, we do our normal morning routines and head down to the main level of the hotel for some free breakfast, and thankfully it's one of those hotels that break out the works. You have eggs, bacon, pancakes, cereal, bagels, muffins, cinnamon rolls, toast, fruit, coffee, orange juice, everything you could want from a balanced breakfast, and it was all pretty good. Anytime there's a breakfast buffet at these places, I always make sure to fill up because if it's on the house, I'm eating as much as I can to get me by until the afternoon. After breakfast, we went back upstairs and just chilled in the hotel room for the rest of the morning. Because it's October, that means Cartoon Network is running its annual Scooptober marathon, so we decided to plug the TV box back in so we could watch some good old Scooby-Doo, and it was a variety package of episodes I had never seen. You had yourself some Scooby-Doo Where Are You, some new Scooby-Doo movies, some What's New Scooby-Doo, even Be Cool Scooby-Doo. Louise came back over during the marathon, and eventually Speedy and Devil pulled up as well so we could engage in some more Smash Ultimate. I should note at this point we were waiting for our old buddy Galaxy Video Max to pull on up, as this would be the day he checks into the hotel proper. As you guys know, Max is one of Death Battle's primary editors, and he's also the man, the myth, the legend behind the Galaxy Video YouTube channel. You should check out his stuff if you haven't, you're missing out. Eventually, Max does arrive along with his family, and he joins us for some smashing good old Marvel vs. Capcom as we all get ready for today's main events. Now, the Death Battle premiere event wouldn't be until later in the evening, so one of the things we wanted to do before heading over was to hang out at the titular Galleria Mall that was right by the Sheraton. Now, funny enough, while the hotel is called the Sheraton Dallas by the Galleria, getting to the actual Galleria the Sheraton is by was not easy. In fact, we ended up having to take a couple lifts over to the mall as while it was nearby, we couldn't get to it on foot and there was a huge Dallas freeway standing in the way of the hotel and the mall. Now, thankfully the lift was only $7, so it wasn't much skin off our backs, but still it would have been cool if there was an easier way to get over there if you don't have access to a car. Maybe via some kind of skybridge connection or something. Either way, we ended up going over to the mall and grabbing a bite to eat for lunch, and what some of us ended up getting was Five Guys, which the main man Larry stepped up and covered for us, which he did not need to do, but all the same, it was very appreciative and goes to show how far Larry goes for his friends. And I'll tell you, this guy will move mountains for you, so a huge thank you again to Larry for doing that. Please go show this man some love on social media. After enjoying Five Guys with the group, we hung around the upper levels of the mall to explore some of the shops that were there, including this one booth that had a bunch of bootleg toys. If you guys saw Devil tweet out that one image of those Sonic 4 movie toys, that's where that came from. Hopefully this means if there is a Sonic 4 movie on the horizon in a few years, we actually do see Silver the Hedgehog wearing Jet the Hawk's boots on the big screen. Nearby, there was a booth selling pins and croc charms, which funny enough was run by the same guy running the bootleg toys booth, who swiftly swung on over. And we ended up picking up some pins from over there. I myself got these pins of Red and Pikachu as well as this Timmy Turner pin. Huge thank you to DJ for grabbing these. Afterward, we very briefly visited the store called Candyland, which was your run-of-the-mill candy store, and of course you can imagine the jokes we made in regards to Hasbro filing some kind of lawsuit over the name. After this, we checked the time and figured we should probably be making our way over to the venue hosting the Death Battle premiere. But the only way out was through the
perfume department.
No, I'm not kidding, we literally had to go through this JCPenney looking perfume department to get to the back exit of this mall and call a lift. In retrospect, I kinda wish I took a picture of the entrance and tweeted it out, but no kidding guys, it looked dead on like the actual perfume department that was in the SpongeBob Shanghai episode. You can't make this stuff up, and you know we were reenacting that scene.
I always hate going in there.
Yeah.
So our initial plan after getting outside was to take a couple lifts straight over to the theater. However, Max was missing his trademark suit for the occasion, so we rode back to the hotel to grab that and get ourselves fully ready. After Max suited up, we grabbed some more lifts and rode over to the 4-day weekend theater, the venue that was hosting Death Battle for the evening. And as soon as we got over there, you can already see this massive line forming outside the theater full of fans who purchased general admissions tickets. At the front leading the pack was none other than the one and only Raccoon Bro VA, who I briefly greeted and fist bumped as my group and I walked the red carpet up into the theater. Thanks to me being Jukums +1, I was able to go right in as Ben and the team were setting up for the show. Guys, this theater was beautiful. From the classy stage to the seating arrangements, I mean heck, they even had a bar that was serving refreshments. And Super Tang and Toppa backers, some of who were already inside at that point, had access to these luxurious looking front row seats, reserved just for them. When it came to where the team members and I were sitting, we were able to head to the upper level and claim seats on the balcony level. And I gotta tell you guys, they were the best seats in the house. Not only was the upper level filled to the brim with old school Screw Attack team members and associates, but you basically got to see the entire theater from the height we were at. What's more is that we learned DJ was assigned the task of technical operations for the evening, meaning he got to be the main man behind the projector and computer and was in charge of queuing our programming for the evening. And we got to watch him from the ops booth right nearby where we were sitting. And if you guys have been following us all the way back from Crossover X, you would know that this is basically history in the making. I mean, here we are, a group of fans that wanted to produce our own versus show out of love for Death Battle. Now a bunch of us are not only associated with the show and its production, but DJ himself is going to be the one bringing the world premiere of a new independent episode of Death Battle itself directly to us and everyone else in attendance. This was a huge deal and a dream come true for us, him especially, and I couldn't be more proud of how far my man has come. On our way up, I also had the privilege of meeting the one and only Danny Shepard from Ismahawk, who was a guest for the evening. He's gonna come back later in this big story, but just getting this out there, Danny is a fantastic dude in real life. Incredibly nice, a stand-up kind of guy. It was a genuine blast being in this dude's presence after many years of watching his various productions. We also met up with our old friend Lousy Tactician, who some of you may know as another one of Death Battle's legacy researchers, also a stand-up guy and someone I'm glad is my friend. I always enjoy hanging with Lousy and he'll be coming back later on as well. Eventually, the clock strikes 7 and the show finally begins. After Ben, Chad, Sam, and Austin come out and introduce themselves, we're first treated to this amazing video that I had briefly caught a glimpse of the previous night from Ben at the bar, which thanks all the Save Death Battle Kickstarter backers for their support and also brings us into the new era of independent Death Battle, all while paying tribute to the legacy left behind by the previous era of the show.
so much. Oh my god. So if you haven't heard, you guys saved Death Battle. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do.
That clip tugged to my heart a lot, man. I've been watching this show grow since 2011, and look where we're at now. It truly is a new era for the series. Everyone who helped save the show and all those working on it should feel proud. As the show continues, we're introduced to some special guests that are brought out on the stage individually, including Liam, Luis, Devil, Lisa, Danny, Brandon Yates, and Aaron, aka Therwolf Media. After this, we get the reveal of the winner of the rematch poll from the Kickstarter, which was presented to us in the form of a trailer.
Oh yeah! Death Battle is the answer.
Holy shit, my vote counted.
Don't get us wrong. There were quite a few entries that, like, we got a good number of votes for that we definitely look at really saw. You know, potential episodes in the future, but like, you guys could do
Yeah, as soon as I heard the music, my jaw just hit the floor. I know a lot of people were expecting Mewtwo vs Shadow, I was too personally, but I'm pleasantly surprised to see the match I voted on ended up winning, and honestly much deserved. We'll probably get a Mewtwo vs Shadow revisit someday, but frankly, a Chief vs Slayer update was well overdue. And apparently the votes were overwhelming. We were not shown any sort of poll results, but it has been hinted that Chief vs Slayer won by a landslide, so yeah, sorry to all those campaigning for other matches. But I think regardless of the fact, we can all probably agree on one thing: thank God it wasn't Ben vs Hal again.
Yawn.
Moving past that though, the entire pre-episode section of the show was a ton of fun. We basically got to learn a lot of behind the scenes info concerning the history and production of the show from the perspectives of different people who worked on it. There are some heartwarming moments that brought some tears to the eyes, some Q&A was done, and pretty much every person on the stage had a question directed at them from an audience member. Which was great, it was just an overall good time, pretty much like one big extended convention panel. About an hour and 16 minutes in, we finally get to the actual premiere of the first independent death battle, Omni-Man vs Bardock. Now, we were asked not to film the episode, so unfortunately I can't show any actual footage of how it looked in the theater, so for those looking forward to hearing reactions from that, sorry to disappoint you all. But to comment on how it was, seeing the entire episode in a theater-like format definitely did not disappoint. The lights were dim, the projection was majestic, the sound was booming and on point, and it felt like an amazing once-in-a-lifetime experience getting to watch DJ and Max's editing as well as Devil's Soul fight animation upon that big silver screen. All the scenes on Thraxa and in space in front of the Blue Star looked phenomenal in a darkened theater, and you already know getting to see a brand new death battle live with many others is quite a different experience from watching it on your own at home on a computer or a phone. At this point, I'm going to get into spoilers for the episode, so in case you haven't seen it yet, now's the time to go over and watch it, then come back over here. I'll give you a few seconds. Now obviously we all know the episode's outcome has been a subject of controversy, and personally I won't be commenting on that aspect as I don't really want to bring down the whole mood of this segment. Plus I also really couldn't be bothered as I have no stake on who wins this matchup in general. But what I can say is that in the theater, the entire episode including its conclusion was very well received and had a positive outlook, which is great considering there's obvious worry for Dragon Ball losses being contentious in terms of reactions from viewers. But I'm happy to report that people were thankfully very courteous and mature, taking Bardock's loss in stride. Overall, it was a great episode to showcase at an event like this, and it certainly was theater worthy, worth the price of admission at that. I should also mention that for the next time, Joker vs. Giorno, we were shown a full-screen slightly extended version of the trailer. I can't show footage of it unfortunately since it was tacked on at the end of the episode, but I just wanted to mention that it was a thing that was shown to us, and I definitely can't wait to see how that episode turns out because I was told it was gonna look beautiful. After the episode ended, the crew then directed everyone outside for a brief meet and greet, as well as the chance to grab pictures and autographs. Out here, I got to meet some new people from the community. I want to shout out Luck of the Stars or Both King Cole. Go check out their work, it's some impressive stuff. There was also this dude that brought with him a custom-made, professional-looking Death Battle VHS tape filled with a selection of Season 1 episodes from the Who Would Win pilot all the way to Starscream vs. Rainbow Dash, and he had it signed by everyone over there. It was honestly one of the coolest things I saw at the event. Here's a clip of it.
I can take it out of the tape too.
Yeah, sure. Guys, this is really cool. Like, he did his own, like, custom Death Battle VHS tape and got everybody to sign it. Are this, like, the greatest hits?
It's season 1. Like
Season 1. That's amazing, yeah. I've always wanted Death Battle to be on home media, but I know why they can't. But this is really cool for, like, a custom product. Like, so much detail and design went into this. Yeah, good stuff, man, yeah. For sure. Sure.
It was also at this meet and greet that I got to formally meet up with Brandon Yates, who in addition to composing music for Death Battle, has also composed a few songs for Crossover X as well as The Gauntlet. He was a blast to meet, a very chill guy. I also ended up meeting with Raccoon Bro again. This time we actually had a chance to catch up and speak to each other. He was with the main man Raven and they were a blast to talk to, shoutouts to them. Make sure you guys check out the Riot Rumble version of Omni-Man vs. Bardock from our boys over at Organization XVX. Raccoon Bro actually shows up in that, and I also wrote for the episode, it's gonna be a ton of fun. Just a quick note, this whole thing was in production before we knew Death Battle was going to be doing this matchup, so just keep that in mind when going into it. But yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see it when it drops on Hyun's Dojo. There's a chance it might already be out by the time this video gets out, so if it is, go check it out. I might leave a link to it below in the description. I also had the privilege of meeting Tyler from the Imaginary Axis, whose content I've been watching for years. Now stop me if you've heard this before, but again, fantastic guy. He was a blast to meet and he was very polite and down to earth. It was cool getting to chill with you, dude. Hopefully we could talk more in the future. Now as the meet and greet was winding down, so was the line for Ben and Chad, and I figured, hey, I know I've been hanging with these guys all week, but honestly, this is probably going to be the last time I get to go up to them at a moment where they're together and not busy and mention how much their show means to me personally. So I took my socially awkward ass onto what was left of the line behind my bros Larry and Max, and soon enough I got my time with Ben and Chad. And I gotta tell you guys, it's still surreal, man. Like, it'll not stop being surreal. I've been watching these guys for years, going all the way back to the Screw Attack days, and look where we're at now. I was a G1, my dudes, and if these guys weren't my heroes before, they became my heroes, and I made sure they knew that. I thank them for everything they did for the show and retroactively getting to meet all my amazing friends and the awesome people in this community. And Chad just hits me with the revelation that he is not only fully aware of who I am, but he's also been enjoying the content I felt produced for a long time. And that shit blew my mind, man. Hearing one of the heads of Death Battle say they've seen work I was attached to and mentioned they always liked it. And I knew it too because I heard these guys tuned into the Mario vs. Sonic Reanimated collab. I remember all the times Ben shouted us out, and DJs reassured me that the team most certainly knows who I am. And that's cool, man. It's fucking cool. Knowing all that. Knowing all the hard work and contributions from over the years was actually worth all the trouble. That I had such a wide reach out. Being reminded that these guys are legitimate acquaintances, people I can legitimately call friends. Fuck, man. I really hope I get to work for this show one day in some way before it ends. I'll actually be upset at myself if I don't. God, I gotta make sure that Build Core review gets finished ASAP. Sorry, I'm getting sentimental, let's move on. So soon enough, the meet and greet ends and so does the Death Battle live premiere event. Though obviously that's not the end of the story, as there's still much more to it after the event. Preceding the event was the official VIP after party, which was exclusive to the crew and Super Tang and Toppa backers, held at Dave & Buster's. And because I'm a +1, I too get to join in on the festivities. So we take a lift over to D&B's where we're treated to a fully catered dinner. Again, all on the house. The Death Battle crew fed me twice this whole trip, that's insane to me. And genuinely, I'm very, very thankful. The food was pretty damn good. I got to sit down with my friend group along with Tyler from the Imaginary Axis. The vibes all around were pretty chill. After dinner, we would head out into the main arcade area to play some games, where we're all given complimentary refillable point cards to use on the machines, each pre-filled with 15 bucks each. And we were also informed that any machine with a blue light would give us a free play. We ended up playing a ton of games, DJ especially, as this man was out to win some tickets and redeem prizes. We played this Flappy Bird clone called Floppy Tickets, which actually gave out tickets based on how well you did. I played a bit of Temple Run Arcade, located conveniently next to the Subway Surfers arcade machine. Yeah, just to comment real quick, Dave & Buster's is always a lot of fun, but I've never been too huge on how there's an oversaturation of mobile phone games converted into giant arcade machines, as opposed to actual classic arcade games that you would see at a traditional brick-and-mortar arcade. I understand they're expensive, hard to come by, and difficult to maintain these days, but I don't know, man. The arcade ports of these games can genuinely be fun to play too, don't get me wrong, but if I had a choice of a traditional arcade experience versus playing games I can download for free on my phone, I'd rather be playing some of the classics. That's just me anyway. Rant aside, did you guys know they had a Mario and Sonic at the Olympics arcade game? I genuinely didn't know this was a thing until that night, and as you'd expect, the game puts emphasis on actively moving your body around as you experience each of the games. And it looked like a ton of fun, even if one of the machines evidently had an issue with the controls. Next up, we played a bit of this Connect 4 Hoops game, which was actually a ton of fun and a cool way to bring Connect 4 into an arcade-like setting, combining the goal of getting 4 in a row with how well you could pull off your trick shots. This is one I'd gladly revisit if I ever saw it at another arcade. At this point, I decided to take a break with DJ and Speedy, so we all sat down at the bar and got ourselves a couple of drinks. I picked up the strawberry watermelon drink with tequila and it ended up being pretty good. Afterwards, we got right back out there with DJ and Luis going a couple rounds in everyone's favorite fighting game, Marvel Contest of Champions, which I didn't know had an arcade port until now.
Slam the face. Bro, I'd be randomly playing this. Honestly, I'd rather be playing boys.
Damn.
Dude, you don't know how to do that combo? Yo, that's the medium heavy view. What?
Take your card.
What was it? I won and I got a card. Oh, nice. You got a card too? Oh, okay. What you get? Oh, I got Spider-Man? Yeah, I got Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? I got Spider-Man. I got Spider-Man. Yeah. I got Morningstar.
You get what you paid for.
Best fighting game of the year.
Marvel is certainly back, for sure. This is the game. But don't worry guys, it gets better. Conveniently located right next to it, they soon followed it up with a couple rounds of Injustice, the mobile version, in arcade form. Why the mobile version needed an arcade port as opposed to the fully functional console versions, I'll never know. But I guess if anything, at least you get some collectible cards out of the experience from both these games. Okay, to be fair, it's not like they didn't have any classic arcade games over there. They had DDR set up, they had various versions of Pac-Man available that each of us played, one of which even had a Make-A-Wish donation bin tacked on, which means every donation gave you some credits to play. Honestly, a pretty cool idea. We played some good old Pac-Man Championship Edition with multiple players, and DJ and Max even had a spin at the world's largest Pac-Man game, which had 2-player functionality, with DJ even making it to the top of the high score leaderboards. But the real highlight of the night was this Mega Stacker game I'm sure you all have seen or played at least once, with the goal being to stack all the blue squares together until you get to the very top. Mess up, and that's the end of the game. It's a lot harder than it looks, and trust me when I say, while this game is winnable, this shit is rigged. Like, genuinely, it's been proven. That final level at the very top is difficult to get exactly right.
I didn't get this on fucking recording. And a frame-by-frame analysis. Gamblers, fuck. is the final one.
Oh!
It's like frame perfect. And you hit your electric. This is the final shot. This is the one.
We tried.
A lot of us in the group were trying to beat this damn thing. I think pretty much everyone had a go. And while it did take many attempts, DJ ended up clutching the win by the very end, proving it can be done.
Sorry.
Jackpot, baby!
Lead editor difference.
After some time, we wound it down and decided to go pick up some prizes. We ended up walking away with this cool karaoke mic, which we're definitely going to put to good use during our big group trip later in the year. Luis ended up getting this cute little Knuckles plush that he sadly lost later on in the lift ride home. Hope the driver enjoys that plush. I got this neat little stress toy shaped like a game controller, which will undoubtedly come in handy on numerous future occasions. Overall, a lot of great prizes, some of which are very clearly only obtainable if you go to a Dave & Buster's for a living. I did also end up finding this chibi plush of Alex from Minecraft, and I thought it was a neat gem, so I picked it up. Might end up giving it to someone later. Oh, and check out these dope robot arms. I was thinking these would be sick for people that want to pull off a Wiz cosplay. If they have these at your local Dave & Buster's, consider picking these up. Anyway, we ended up staying until closing, and they were basically shutting down all the machines and kicking us out. In fairness though, it was 1 in the morning and we were basically winding down at that point, but yeah, I had never seen what a Dave & Buster's looks like when it was closing up until that point. It was kinda surreal. After we left, I said my goodbyes to Tyler, and we all took some lifts back to the hotel. At this point, we pretty much had no further obligations with the Death Battle premiere out of the way, so we decided to stay up to engage in some more Smash Brothers. Only this time, we had a few guests coming over. If you can believe it, Ben, Chad, and Danny from Isbahawk all dropped by our room to party and play some rounds, and he brought some drinks along with them. This eventually culminated into us setting up this tournament that ran until 4 in the morning, where we all went up against each other's respective mains. All throughout, I got at least one match in with Ben, Chad, and Danny. So yeah, I got to fight Chad's legendary DDD, which was sick, as someone who mained DDD back in Smash 4 and tuned into all the old amiibo cockfights at SGC. I gotta tell you guys, Ben played one hell of a mean Ike, and Danny was pretty damn good with his Cloud. It was overall a pretty good time, and it was cool getting to kick back with them alongside my friends into the late hours. Like, dude, if you told me this was gonna happen 10 years ago, I would have never believed you. I mean, here's some clips of our games. No way I can't show the proof.
Yeah. Random that one more time.
There we go.
Fuck!
I have to fight Jacob anyway,
Alright.
so it's fine.
It always comes back around. All right.
Maybe one more time.
Oh god, we gotta see Mario again.
All right.
Here we go. Mario. Here we go.
Good luck, Danny.
All right, let's go.
We are got us, Danny.
Everyone is warmed up except for you, but we believe in you.
I'm just gonna spam one button. It's been a minute. It's that one.
No! You're here to learn.
Yeah, this
live
is
combat.
We're learning. We're.
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh, let's go.
Alright, 2-2. You should have called him out live in person.
Isn't it?
Yo, this is cool. This is a nail biter. All right, so 29%. Oh, it's getting cool. It's getting.
Okay, hold on.
20.2.
Danny's got the advantage.
Oh shit.
Charge. You gotta charge.
I don't know how.
Down B.
But maybe it's
Thank
some
you.
keyhole or something.
Don't do it now, though. I mean, he's gonna fire that.
That's true. But oh god.
Oh god. Nice.
Oh god. Try.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah.
Oh shit.
impeccable DI from Ray.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, immaculate. He's standing there menacing.
Don't worry, you got it. You got it, Ray. Your DI is crazy, Ray. You should be dead by now. Ooh.
Oh god.
Nice.
I know Cloud is broken. GG's, man.
I enjoyed that.
Oh shit. That was a good one.
That was close. That was a good start.
Yeah.
Good start to the Death Battle tournament. All right, coming up next is Max versus no one.
I win by default. I win by
Also,
default.
apart from Larry,
Oh,
who's
man,
not-
mine was so
also
hard.
Ben.
Ben, you win by default.
Go.
What a beautiful soundtrack to this battle.
Yeah, wait, why is there no music? What's going on?
They got serious.
I think it's just very
Like,
quiet.
This is a fight.
That hurts environmental noises from.
I'm just imagining like golf commentators like the quiet man.
And he throws the boomerang.
Swallows the bomb.
That arc is good.
Ooh.
I've been hit by that way too many times.
Paint me.
In the abyss that is this final destination, there is no sound. There's no music.
It's a spaceless, timeless void. Of course there's no
We're
sound.
in.
We're in space. Why would there ever be
Are we in space? What is that in the background?
in space? Like, yeah, you've never been in space. You never been in space. How would you know?
If you had Speedy here, he'd be able to explain
Oh,
this.
space has all that shit going on.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
You don't want
God.
to eat your shit.
In space,
Space
no one
is
can do
green?
a Smash Brothers.
Space is green. Maybe. Space can be any color, honestly. Yeah.
Maybe in some galaxies.
Oh god!
First you take physical damage, you get hit, and then you take psychic damage when he holds down.
The Gordo is my best friend and also my worst enemy. Sometimes it will fuck you.
Go get
I would do it, coward.
He did it! I felt the same thing.
You had to tell him to do it.
It is one of the most mind gaming things with DD. It's the scariest shit when he holds it forever. He's like, ah.
He will kill you.
Alright, there you go.
Oh my god.
Great games from the rest of the people. Great.
Well fought.
Okay.
Everybody earned their place in the next round.
Yep.
Oh shit, I'm back.
Versus
Thank you.
Max.
Oh wow, this is like the match.
Yeah, this is the match.
We're already here.
Cloud versus Sephiroth.
Except for Riot.
Sephiroth.
Yeah, there we go.
That's cool.
Oh no! Not like this.
Not like
Not
that.
like that.
No, that's how Final Fantasy VII starts.
Yeah.
Well,
Yo,
that's
Max-
the middle
Max-
arc.
Max,
Final
homie
Fantasy.
sucks.
Eric just died.
Max, homie stock, you wouldn't. Max, homie stock.
Only stop?
No.
I refuse to throw away.
No mercy. There we go. See.
Yeah, he's gonna win now.
This is New Game Plus, Cloud.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was really hoping he would die. That was
Sephiroth can win this round.
Put all back. Who's stronger than ever?
Right.
Larry Woodwood.
Oh, this is very fun music.
It's happy music.
I like use guts. Ben's like, oh, I'm sitting down in gamer stance. Larry's just
Gamer.
like, I'm having a great time. I'm happy to be here. Just gonna lay down. I'm feeling casual.
Oh no. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Pinch the sword.
Oh, he's back in!
What the heck?
4 keys that blow.
Larry, give him covering fire.
Oh, that's one.
Everything.
Oh shit. Oh, it's really fucking me up.
Don't.
Get him. I can't do any of my setups without it. That sucks.
You know, just like lightly tilt the control stick and press A. You know, that's how you originally.
I use down.
And then you can also
the new manual tells
smash,
go to down first and then like
that's
lightly
fair.
move forward to cancel the like forward motion that happens.
Oh.
Whatever.
That's like rematch.
Mike. Oh, do it! Ah, shit! Ah. Oh no! Oh god! Oh no! Oh no! Oh!
Nice recovery.
I just love the Mario thing.
Oh, okay. I'm gone.
Paint me.
Oh. Maybe like when you're French penguins.
Oh, that's supposed to be down. Oh, that's supposed to be down.
Maybe like when you're French penguins.
Clever twist on the original.
The clever twist.
French penguins as opposed to.
French girl.
Luis, fight back! Fight back!
Oh no! Shit.
Oh jeez! Oh no! The Gordo.
Luis, fight back!
Oh. It's not. It's unlikely. It's not impossible. You gotta.
Just walk in. Just walk in.
Oh.
Yeah, just walk in. Nope.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
That got wild for both of us. Oh,
that would have been sick.
I was so close to the spike. Fuck.
Oh, come on.
It's so big, Howard.
That got robbed.
Oh.
Oh.
That one.
Oh shot. Oh, he's so good.
Oh.
Oh!
Wow.
It's been so long since we fought.
Yeah, right?
Good game.
That was a good one.
There's the down B that no one ever fucking uses.
He's like, please use it once. I'll show it. It looks cool.
What if we also gave it to Kirby?
The crossover X clash.
Give me Ness versus Isaac, you guys. Providence! You hate to see it! A millimeter from the ledge! And we've all been there and felt that pain.
Oh,
fair enough. Well, think about what you've done. Think about what you've done. Oh, man. Damn! Stop slapping him! Stop!
With the chop.
The fact that you began with think about what you've done. Like, it's just... You deserve that.
Oh, I take it. It's unlikely. It's not impossible. You can make the comeback. Back here.
Where's my money?
I'm so tired of that fucking tether grab.
DJ, where's my paycheck?
Stop being grabbed! Stop being grabbing! Oh my god! Dude, you are literally creating his villain origin story. Like, he's gonna be like, what's the hardest counter to fucking... We like that fun here.
About time.
This is for Sam versus Courtney.
Oh, damn.
No, let's just doing it normally. That's right.
Oh!
Oh, god damn it. Okay. I hate to see it.
There you go.
I got it stock from you fucking around, so I'm fine.
The Galaxy Grudge Match.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
The classic.
It is happening.
It is happening, is what I should have.
The PlayStation Classics.
Galaxy Video Central.
Seth, what are your opinions on pizza toppings?
Oh, they're actually pretty good.
Far too spicy for my taste.
Larry said, maybe we just keep talking.
Max is slowly turning into Sephiroth. I mean, it was so.
Oh, damn. Covering all the options.
I support the weird ass.
Oh, no, Larry. Oh, yes. Oh, the trampoline.
No, baby.
Larry, no.
Get over there.
Ow! Key.
Get the key.
Larry,
Get
it's
the key,
not
get the key.
impossible. We can
Oh,
still
key
do
to
it.
victory. Here we go. Oh, damn, he whips it.
Chop.
Okay, hits the side B.
Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Oh, gets the side B again.
Chop.
Just side B him. He can't counter it. Apparently.
Oh god. Oh!
Oh,
That didn't kill him?
Well, if we do it again, then he
You
might
should
not.
probably just go for belt so you can stun him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, it's too
Oh, there is a bell that just rang.
I play one character. And it is DDD. Look at his happy,
If
terrible.
I were for Pekka in this game, y'all wouldn't be laughing this hard.
It's a battle. It's
The death battle
it's the battle
All
of
the
pink.
fucking projectile characters, man.
It's the battle of pink.
Burning hard.
Yeah.
It's about to burst.
Good, like Tiki.
Oh, shit. Wow. Damn, dude.
That was smooth.
Oh shit.
Hold on.
Oh.
Nice. Wow.
Oh, shit, I fucked up.
Oh.
Oh, God, that scared me so bad.
The tornado.
That would have been a terrible way to end.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
Now, Chad, you're the odds, baby.
I'm
low.
just fucking trying, man.
Think what you did. Think what you
Dude, good fucking play. The silence of that match, everyone's just like,
Good luck.
Oh, not the slap.
Dark Sammy, go hammy.
Dark Sammy.
Is that why?
I only caught the slaps once, so you know, I'll take those.
No, I just stood there.
No. Alright, I'm gonna. It was a vengeance.
I did taunt there. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Sorry, I underestimated your game.
Even up. Let's go.
Oh yeah, we gotta change our goals a little bit.
Your sword is like 3 miles long. You can
Swing away, Max. Swing away.
So I'm swinging.
Oh, there you go. Hell yeah. All right.
Whoa!
Hey. Oh, okay.
Alright, so yeah,
Okay, cool.
bounces off. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Max,
He
it
can
maybe
do it. 144% is nothing.
That's
Don't
never
worry.
stop.
Chad, the timing on that.
Yeah, very good. Very good. I'll take a humble silver medal.
There you go.
That was amazing.
Oh, that was
You
great.
did get all gold at the Olympics.
There you go.
Yeah, I did defeat you at the Olympics earlier.
The winner is Jukum.
Hogan World Champion 2018.
Congrats.
That was fun, y'all.
That's good.
I can't stress enough how much of an honor it was to be hanging out with the Death Battle crew all weekend long. I know at this point I'm still just a fan and not someone who's part of the team, but as someone who's been watching and supporting the show for years, I gotta take this moment to compliment and really thank everyone for making me feel like I'm family, like I'm part of the squad. I had some low-key moments where in the back of my head I'm just thinking, do I really deserve to be here? Like, is it right for me to be amongst all these guys who work so hard on the show and I'm just tagging along as this fan who just happens to be there? And then I have my friends and people like these guys to remind me, dude, who cares if you're not part of production? You're a dedicated fan who's shown so much love and support, not just for the show, but your friends working on here. And that's what gets me to realize this isn't just a trip celebrating the show's return to production. It's a trip for everyone, the team and the fans, who all collectively work together to bring the show back into the swing of things. And you're surrounded by friends and people that care about you as a person, because you likewise care for them, and put them before yourselves. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, fucking thanks, Death Battle. And most of all, thanks DJ and Jukum for being my friends all these years and getting me the hookup to even justify being here. I love these guys, man, and I love being a fan of this show, even with the hardships that come with it. And I can't wait to see what's in store for the future of this new era. Alright, sentimental rambling over, let's wrap up Thursday. After Ben, Chad, and Danny left, we all began to wind down and watch the first episode of Dandadan. Great first episode, by the way. I definitely can't wait to see more. You should check it out if you haven't. DJ's apparently well into the manga, and he also got a kick out of what we watched. Definitely some good stuff. Pretty crazy in some areas, but it's nothing I'm not used to after having seen other anime with similar tones. The characters were a ton of fun too. After the episode wrapped up, we went to sleep for some final festivities on Friday. So at this point, everything Death Battle related was pretty much over. This was the day many of the staff members were checking out of the hotel, and that included some folks in our group as well, including Max and Devil, who might as well have walked off the set of this hypothetical sitcom special after we last saw them the previous night. And eventually Speedy, Larry, and Luis, who all had their return flights that day. But not before watching some Go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course, which we found on Pluto TV as one of their free streaming channels, with ads of course. Up to 7 straight ads in total, including this one for some weird reason.
Bring back well-intentioned bullying. And then we'll cuddle a little bit, and I also remind him that, God forbid anything were to happen, I would bleed his bank accounts dry. I called your boyfriend or fiance a budget Ryan Gosling, and you canceled.
Bring back well-intentioned bullying. What the fuck? I really hope I don't get flagged for playing that, but yeah, weirdest thing to be advertising on a channel that's meant to be enjoyed by kids and fans of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. I get the feeling these ads are probably auto-generated like YouTube ads are, but you would think they would at least put some effort into tailoring the ads towards relevant stuff like other anime or kids channels, which we did see some of to be fair, albeit rarely. This just feels like something you'd see during a commercial break on Freeform. Anyway, it was a good time. We caught the channel in the middle of the Noah vs Kaiba duel during the Virtual World arc. It's the English dub, by the way, and we pretty much kept it on until the final part of Yugi and Kaiba's duel in the Battle City Finals, though sadly DJ and Jukum weren't able to catch the climax of the duel because we had to go out for dinner. As an aside, God, I forgot how much filler there is in these duels. Like, never mind the filler arcs in Yu-Gi-Oh! I can tolerate them so long as they're entertaining and respect my time. Granted, the Virtual World arc interrupting Battle City will always be divisive among fans, but that's a can of worms on its own. But the constant padding and back and forth trash talking takes up so much cinematic time in the series, and while Yugi vs Kaiba in the finals is iconic, it's held back so much by how long it's stretched out because of the constant bickering, which is arguably made worse in the dub. And then you have this whole other semi-irrelevant segment of Joey having this duel in his coma-induced dream that has no real impact on what's going on in the real world. But I digress, some of you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. All I'll say is that if you plan to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! In eventual preparation for the Ash vs Yugi death battle, do yourself a favor and either read the manga or at least watch the Japanese version of the show. It's at least more bearable to go through, especially when there's no ad breaks in between. Though like I said, eventually we went out to go grab some dinner. We met up with Lousy, who was still in Dallas along with his partner, and had some dinner at this place called Oni Ramen. I ended up getting myself this bowl called the Oni Reaper, and it was pretty damn good. If you're in Dallas, I would definitely recommend hitting them up. Afterward, we took a walk in the general area nearby. We saw this cool park with a big sculpture and fountain that was in front of this other hotel. We also ended up seeing this weird school that we thought from afar was another park for a brief bit, so yeah, we were almost about to trespass on private property. After that though, we said goodbye to Lousy for the evening, and then DJ Jukum and I agreed we felt like watching a movie to wrap up our time on the trip together. We took a lift over to this place called the North Park Mall, which was ominously empty and surprisingly still open late, but it had an AMC that stayed open until the midnight hours.
Guys, oh my god. It's the movie theater where Gojo vs Makima took place at. The movie theater in the mall.
We ended up watching The Wild Robot, which was first recommended to me by my friend Misfortune Dark, and later to our group by Ben when he was driving us back from dinner. And I won't spoil the movie since it's still new as of the making of this video, but I will say it's definitely worth the watch. All three of us had a great time watching, and I can't recommend the film enough, so please go see it when you get the chance. And if you're still in the mood for robots, boy do I have the film for you! After the movie, we lift back to the hotel and hop on a VC with the GGM crew as we wind down and play some more Marvel vs Capcom. We wrap up the evening with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! And turn in for the final night. Now in some other timeline, this would have been a happily ever after for me, but like with some of my last few trips, at least one thing went horribly wrong. I swear, it's like I got some nagging demon watching me on all these adventures, waiting for the right moment to strike. I woke up very early in the morning with uncontrollable shivering and a lack of appetite, and I could not figure out what was going on. Did having the AC on high that night make me sick? Did I come down with something? It was scary, dude. I couldn't eat my whole breakfast. In fact, I barely ate the entire day. There was a point where I had to step out into the sunlight with DJ to calm myself and the shivering. Sadly though, I didn't have the time to diagnose it since my flight was later in the afternoon. I said my goodbyes to DJ and Jukum, grabbed a lift to the airport, met up with Lazi one last time whose flight was also about to take off near my gate, and then after waiting an extra hour for my flight due to a delay, which is a first for me with Delta, I took off from Dallas and safely returned home to New York. And that's everything we did on the trip. A couple days later, I ended up finding out that I came down with that one virus that shut the world down in 2020 and became bedridden for a whole week, which is why this video took a bit longer than normal to come out. Apologies about that, but I'm thankfully doing much better now, and I appreciate all those that reached out on social media to wish me well. I love and appreciate every one of you. It was definitely a hard week to sit through. Overall though, when it came to my experience with my friends in Dallas and the whole Death Battle Live premiere event, what more can I say ever than it was a phenomenal time, and I'd gladly do it again if the team ever decided to do another one of these and the timing was right. It was cool getting to hang out with all my friends and many of the show's noteworthy staff. I had a great time mingling and meeting with new people, and getting to witness the early debut of Death Battle's new independent era in a special theatrical-like fashion was mind-blowing. I felt like getting to be part of an important part of history, and considering how long I've been following and supporting the show, I felt blessed getting to be part of this one-of-a-kind experience. And I'm happy that in some way, shape, or form I got to take you guys along for the ride too with my storytelling. I hope you guys enjoyed this style of video. Maybe if I do something like this again, I can revisit this format and recap my thoughts in a collected and organized fashion like so. If you guys have any thoughts or further questions about my experience, definitely let me know below, and of course make sure you guys continue to support the amazing people over at Death Battle as they take this big leap into this new independent era. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed. The next video on here will likely be my long-awaited review of Bill Cipher vs Discord. I'm hoping to have it ready before 2024 ends, so stay tuned and make sure you follow me on social media for more updates and all that. Links in the description below. Project Escape should also follow shortly after it, and it's turning out great. I can't wait for y'all to see that. But anyway guys, that's all I have for you. Truly, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. This is Ray, also known as Meatloaf Man or Moonray, signing off on another world-class adventure. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Remember to be kind to one another, and I'll catch you all next time. Have a good one, gang.